How can you quickly identify and answer every math question that appears on your standardized test on test day? I'm going to tell you. Now, tell me if this sounds familiar. I received this email from a student just this morning. She said, I'm going through your course and I understand it when you explain it, but the problem I'm having is that a question pops up on the screen or I'm doing practice problems or homework and I don't know how to get started. I can't see exactly what to do to get started. It makes sense after you explain it, but what do I do? Do you have any tips for me so that I can effectively do it on test day? And the answer is yes, of course. And it's a reminder that these tests, whether the executive assessment, the GMAT, GRE, it doesn't matter. They're essentially exercises in pattern recognition. They are timed exams, so the question appears on your computer screen. How quickly can you identify it and know exactly the best strategy to employ, the type of question it is? I talk about putting questions in different buckets. Hey, this is this bucket of question, this is this type of question. And now I know the right strategy, the methodology, the formula, whatever it is to actually execute it. I call it having what's called a Pavlovian response. You've heard of Pavlov and Pavlov's dogs, classical conditioning, where there's some sort of trigger and it triggers a recognition and understanding a specific action automatically. And you want to develop that same thing on your standardized test. So the question pops up on your screen and you say, oh, this question involves variables. Boop, I know what to do right away. I don't have to think, I don't have to guess. I'm going to make up numbers for those variables. That's what I teach my students. That's always the best place to start on those types of questions. Hey, the question pops up on a screen. It's a word problem. The answer choices are all numbers. The question asks for a single value. Yep, I'm going to work backwards on this question. Maybe it's not a good candidate for my non-standard strategies. So the question pops up and I see words like both or neither. Doop. There's the immediate recognition that it is a sets question, overlapping set. So in my mind, I'm thinking A plus B minus both plus neither equals total, the two sets formula, and so forth and so on. So that's what you're trying to get to. How do you get there? Somebody needs to point out those different triggers and those buckets. They need to teach it to you, and hint, AI isn't very good at it. I know you're in the habit of putting questions into AI and seeing how AI solves it. It's not always helpful. So you need to know what the triggers are, what the strategies are, what the buckets are, and then practice. It's just a matter of doing it so many times that the recognition is near instantaneous, and you put in that work, and on test day, you're going to know exactly how to get started on every question, which will increase the number of right answers you get.